Our animal mission is simple: education in action, conservation in action. This is Kamp Kenan. What's happening, man? I'm hanging out here in my ancestral homeland of Long Island, and I'm hanging out with Steve DeSimone, who's chatting with my good buddy Luke Cray. You guys will remember from the Ultimate Nature Lover's Backyard. That's good old Luke. And we're hanging out at the Cold Spring Harbor Fish Hatchery and Aquarium right off Northern Boulevard here in Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island. So I'm pretty excited because Luke could potentially be helping you guys out with a new turtle pond. So what we're looking at here represents New York State's turtles. These are all native species, and I'm really excited, Steve, because when I walked up I saw a Blanding's turtle, which is found in western New York, if I'm not incorrect, way out there towards Lake Erie. Now, what are you hoping to accomplish? Because this works, but what do you want to accomplish when bringing Luke and getting Luke involved in this whole situation?
Sure, with Luke's help, we're trying to create an environment that we can better interpret their habitat needs, their requirements. Here, it's really great. We can see them all, but it doesn't really speak to what it is they really need to survive. Gotcha. We're looking for a habitat that just better speaks to that.
Cool, man. So, you know, what they want to do and what Luke is such an artist for doing is creating water features that look as though they've been a part of the landscape forever. And you know, we've already talked a little bit, Luke, man, we're getting excited. He called me up because he wants, I guess you needed a little turtle nerd to get involved with you. So where's the site that you guys are actually looking to put this?
Just over here.
Oh, let's go take a walk, man. So talk to me a little bit about the hatchery. What is your main goal here as far as the fish situation?
We are an historic trout hatchery, which had been run by the state for years, over 130 years in fact. New York State kind of let it go, and we've maintained it as an aquatic nature center, more or less. Okay. With a strict focus on aquatic reptiles, amphibians, and fish. We try to connect people with the animals that are in their own environment rather than across the country, you know, the world. Right. To hopefully create a stronger connection with them and a greater desire to want to help and keep them all around.
Very cool. And as we know, turtles and tortoises, guys, especially in a built-up major metropolitan area like Long Island, the animals are facing a lot of pressure from roads, which is probably the #1 killer as they go back and forth between ponds to lay their eggs and breed and so on. But this, look, I'll tell you, man, this is a pretty good palette to start with.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great plants here that I'd like to maintain in this environment too.
Yes,
maybe
absolutely.
A little less iris, but there's some great cinnamon fern up at the top there. It is a great environment for what I think these turtles can really make something special out of.
So just looking at this, what are some of your thoughts, Luke, right off the bat? What would you do to make this be able to, #1, support the bioload that turtles can produce, but then kind of maintain that natural look?
Well, a couple things that we want to do here is create a connection. So putting a big landing stone at the edge of the water so people can get to it. Like right now, we're kind of trying to look over the landscape. Also, there are some steep embankments that we were considering putting some rock groupings so that instead of having a eroding embankment all the way around, we would have the ability to stabilize some parts of the embankment with rock.
Okay.
And we also, there's a spring that bubbles out of the back, so we do have a fresh water source, and we'd like to also stabilize that a bit to create an ornamental asset and also prevent that from continually eroding.
The things that I notice is, you know, the concern that we want to make sure that there's enough soft bottom that these animals can overwinter without any issue. A lot of hiding areas. Do you guys harvest the eggs here? Would you be harvesting some of these eggs, or do you want to create a situation where they can incubate in the ground?
Well, we want to really be able to control the incubation.
Okay.
So ideally, if at all possible, we'd want to be able to harvest the eggs and get them into an incubator somewhere out of sight.
Right, well the reason I ask is because there are things that you can do that would kind of, we know that we want an area that has maybe a beachy, more kind of a soily area where it'll draw the animals to it to lay their eggs, and this way it makes it easier for you when you're out there collecting eggs. You can even do something that we've done is you rake at night, and in the daytime when you come in you'll see little footsteps and then where they laid. The other thing that would be cool is on the off chance you do miss some of the eggs, you may be able to find the hatchlings. And the cool thing about all this cover and some of these aquatic vegetation is baby turtles, as you guys may know, are animals that want to be very cryptic at first. They want to hide, eat invertebrates, eat little bugs, and you're going to create little micro habitats for the babies, which I think will be really cool. But hey, look, I know a lot of us would be pretty psyched to have this pond, but when you're open to the public, you want to have a place that maybe people want to sit, picnic by, be able to observe the animals, and you can, with what he's able to do, you'll be able to have the same level of observation for these animals, but in a much more naturalistic and conducive situation that the animals would benefit from. So it's really, really exciting. Hey, I'll tell you what, man, we've definitely got a good view of this. Would you mind showing us a little bit of the nursery, little baby turtles? I like to see turtles, man. All right. Let's go check them out.
Not that big a circle.
Not at all, man. And these are small circles too. These are little. This is why these guys are working so hard. These are a representation of last year's offspring from the hatchery here. So already I see we got some map turtles, we got eastern painteds, there's a little mappy. It's so cool. So it's really fun. I mean, do you find that when people come in, they really get a kick out of the turtles here or what?
It's definitely a highlight of the facility. Kids will race in either to do two things, feed the fish or come check out the hatchling turtles.
That's really cool,
one of their favorites.
So these guys are definitely going to build something cool, but check this out real quick. We got testament to the wood turtle's ability to climb. There is a wood turtle there, and here's one just hanging out. And boy, man, with what you guys decide to build, that'll be really cool. So there you have it. These guys are going to be working hard, educating the folks here in Long Island, and if you're visiting the greater New York area, take a ride out to Cold Spring Harbor. It's a beautiful ride. Luke, looking forward to seeing what you draw up, buddy.
Out there. It'll be some fun stuff.
It'll be cool, man. I can't wait. Yeah. We'll definitely come back and see what happens. So thank you very much. Thanks for. By the way, this was an impromptu show. we were gonna climb over the fence, and luckily he showed up. So Luke and I, we're New York guys. We're a little shady.
We were going to anyway.
But we got a video out of it, everybody. So there you go.